Backcountry hut trips, the skier's version of glamping. Kinda roughing it, but pretty bougie at the same time. It's the best way to light up the credit card balance, along with a couple dozen other people, and cram into about 1,000 square feet of living space that quickly deteriorates into a stinky wall-to-wall gear locker. Perfect. This video is the story of an incredible week in April 2025 at a little hut up in the northern Selkirks mountains of interior British Columbia. I never even would have made it on this trip except that I happened to call my old buddy Ryan months earlier about a totally different idea, and he mentioned this hut trip and that there might be an opening available. So thanks for pulling me in, dude, and for getting me connected with the right people. It turns out those right people were named Paul and Liza. Paul won the permit, and the two of them rounded up a group of 17, which is impressive. That's a lot of ski bums to wrangle. Not to mention that as the permit holder, you carry the full financial burden of making sure all those hooligans give you money on time. On top of that, it's a week of really close quarters, and I feel like a trip like this can live or die by the dynamics and chemistry of the group. It's just kinda challenging to get so many like-minded and similarly skilled people together. And because of this, I always felt it was a bit of a gamble for them to accept an unknown entity, someone they'd never met or even spoken with before. So huge thanks to Paul and Liza for taking a chance and offering me a spot on the trip. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
What's your review for day 0?
Some shenanigans getting in. To be expected, I suppose, but made it all work. We're here. This place is just about as epic as advertised, and we are poised to get after it.
Day 0 down, 7 days to go.
7 days to go.
Despite being surrounded by a group of very capable skiers and riders, a lot of the footage in this video is either of me or from my point of view. I swear this isn't an ego thing. I just realized that not everyone necessarily likes being on camera, and I just met all these people for the first time, so I wasn't about to awkwardly go sticking my camera in their face. I feel like you gotta pass a certain threshold of familiarity before you can do that. And for the same reason, I don't have a whole lot of footage in or around the hut itself either. So anyway, I did capture some shots of the others, but for the most part only when it sort of flowed naturally. For better or worse, that felt like the right way to use the camera without being intrusive. But with a generally stable snowpack and weather on our side, we didn't waste any time getting up into the alpine and laying down fresh tracks on every pristine slope we could see.
Woo.
Sick.
Oh, heck yeah. sweet. Yeah, no complaints. No complaints. Yeah, you can feed me that all day. Yeah. It's all good. Hey, Houdini bottom crew. Me and Devane are about to drop. We're going to do a little stop at that rock at the top to evaluate and hopefully go from there.
That's a good copy. We'll watch.
Alrighty, see you in a few.
It quickly became clear that some of the crew had done their homework prior to the trip, reading past reports, looking at photos, poring over topo maps to plot out some of their objectives. While I took a glance at some of that stuff, I did actually very little planning ahead of time. It's all just so dependent on snow conditions, weather, group dynamics, all of these things that I had no way of knowing in advance. So I decided to just show up with a rough idea of what was available and some of the options, and kind of just go with the flow from there, which ended up working out pretty well.
Are y'all dropping in below that rock, or are you staying on that slope?
No, we're about to make a left and go into the chute.
Great.
Yeah, it's a no-go straight below us.
Got the squirrel suit.
Oh man, have fun in there. Enjoy. Yeah, buddy. Well, that's definitely what we were looking at, and best turns of the trip so far for me.
Yeah.
By the third or fourth day, the flow was becoming familiar and we settled into a pretty simple routine. You wake up, make coffee, watch the alpine glow start hitting the high peaks, stoke the fire, you stretch, definitely stretch, you have some breakfast and start looking again at all the maps, satellite images, terrain photos, and then begins the daily ritual of figuring out groups, sort of the mountain hut version of speed dating. The thing is, no one wants to ski alone, and no one wants to ski in a group of 17 either. And so we'd all spend 20-ish minutes bouncing around the hut, figuring out what everyone else was planning for the day, where you headed, what objectives, what's the weather, any AVI concern, how much distance and vert do you have in mind, who's headed out on the glaciers, do they have the right gear and ropes, and so on. and eventually we'd settle into maybe 3 or 4 groups and get ourselves out the door.
Yeah, it's a little bit mystery turns, but it's pretty soft. Oh man, that was a dream line. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, so fun. So fun.
Oh yeah. Here we go.
Sketchiest part of the outing.
On one of those morning shuffles, it ended up just being Ryan and I had similar ideas, and that was to go poke our heads around the nearby ridge into the next basin and just kind of see what we see. We knew there'd be some options there, we just weren't really sure what they would be. And it turns out that little extra bit of exploration opened the door to one of the best lines of the trip.
How about that climb?
Oh boy. That's probably the most boot packing I've done in a while.
Long ways up.
Long ways up. But a nice long ways down too.
You know, full value on this view.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You don't see a lot of this in Tahoe.
Gorgeous out here.
So there is 0 chance of seeing this on the GoPro, but we can just barely see our friends way out there on the top of Gothic Glacier, headed towards Pioneer Pass, a long freaking ways away.
I'm dropping 5.
Cool. Have fun.
Well, this is the 5th day of the trip. We're making our way up Granite Glacier. It's my first time traveling on a glacier with a harness and all that cool stuff.
Not to get really philosophical about it, but cut off from the outside world and all the normal routines, the days became a really satisfying escape into an isolated bubble consisting only of a few simple and enjoyable tasks. Eat, sleep, ski, repeat. We quickly lost track of the day of the week, and that tends to be a good sign that things are going the right way.
Got it. Yep, buddy.
My little pony.
All right, dropping.
The last morning. 5 big days and 1 party night later, the crew was moving a little slow. But I don't know, I'm bad at sitting still, I guess, especially when it's the last hurrah. I just needed to find at least one other person to get moving. Alan, you're my man.
Heck of a view behind you. This is the top of Pioneer, looking north down on the Granite Glacier in this direction. And then behind me, the Gothic Glacier to the south. Heading back across Gothic, possibly last big skin of the trip anyway. What a way to do it. Well, good day, man. Thanks for teaming up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Uh,
We get up there.
yeah, that was great.
6 straight days of huge mountains, perfect weather, cool people, and all the climbing and skiing our legs can handle. It's tough to get all those variables to line up just right. Shout out to the whole group who made the experience so enjoyable. John, Elizabeth, Alan, Kira, Sammy, Amanda, Chris, Roby, Eric, Ryan, Liza, Dave, Connor, Anna Marie, Adrian, and Paul. Just like that, time to pack up our stuff, load up into the helicopters, and get back to the reality of work, email, cringeworthy news headlines, true adult responsibilities. But at least doing it with a collection of radical new memories. So here's to an awesome week, hopefully catching up with you all again in the Selkirks sometime real soon. Cheers, everybody. Until next time.